Hi and welcome, I'm Andy and this is a Raid Shadow Challenge. But today, let's talk a little bit of what have changed in Raid. What tips and tricks and guides that when I played before was like, do this when you start your Raid journey and you will be fine. What have changed and what is still something that you need to think about. And oh, wrong, you don't need to think about it, but it will speed the process of getting your account going and make the journey more enjoyable and easier. The first one is your starter champion. A lot of guides on how to start raid journey is get your starter champion up to 60. Fully master, spend games on mastering your champion, and let that champion carry you through the early game. I would say that's not a good advice anymore. You will outgrow your starter champion so fast. Is it one champion I don't miss in my void only? It would be that. Okay, I haven't had a poisoner, so Kale would have helped, but I have pulled better poisoner that would have been better than Kale. And right now, when you can start with so many champions, if you use a beginner code and a referral program or something like that. Some content creator have a code where you start with 3 epic champion and 1 legendary champion, and then you can use a code to get another legendary champion the first day, and you usually can get Bellower a couple of days later, and then you get a free legendary in 7 days. That is soon ending, but you will probably get a new free legendary soon anyway. Maybe not as good as Mikey is right now, but I would say if you start right now, I think that Mikey is still, when I record this, free login for 2 more days. He would be better to bring to 60 as your first champion than any of the starter. Level your starter champion up to 50, and you can definitely book your starter champion to make them better at 50, but keep them there. Don't spend food on them over 50. Focus on a stronger champion. And use a code. You can start with Deacon, you can start with Johannarak, you can start with Fane and what's her name? I have to check. Rector Draft, or you can buy Rector Draft from your beginner pack. Actually, quite high value pack, I would say. And that's good champions. Johannarak will be a slow farmer in campaign, but she can farm. And if you are using Mikey, he can farm the campaign for you when he's 6-star and with some good gear. So focus on those champions. A good advice still is use your first 800 gems to master the champion you will first 6-star. Depending on how fast you are playing, how much time you are spending, I would say use a beginning code that gives you a champion that you want to take up to 60 before you get the free login, because the free login is 7 days if you can get the food before. But right now I would say if you play a little bit and not like hardcore it, uh, if you can get food for your 6-star in 7 days, so you have the food ready for Mikey when you get him. That's a good tempo, and then spend the games on him. There is good rare still, but the starter champion is, I wouldn't say they are worth the investment, and they are not worth delaying a good, strong core team. Because right now, yeah, you would use your starter champion, but when you get the 6th champion to 6-star, then you will probably remove your starter champion because he will not be good enough. The second one that I would say is start to farm the dungeons, dragons for lifesteal, and Fire Knight and Spider. That's not that important. The gear you get from the dungeons, they are not as good as the gear you get from other places. The event dungeon, it will soon end, but we will probably get a new event dungeon. If you can farm 5-star gear from the event dungeon, do that. You will get rings and amulets and banners from that as well. So you don't need to get Spider on farm. The only gears that I would care about is Fire Knight, Savage, Stun, and Regen. You want to have a good set in everybody, probably 2 good Regen sets. They are really good for some places in the game. So Fire Knight is worth farming. Dragon, in the early game, farming Dragon. And when it's a extra drop rate on speed. Speed is still really good. Lifesteal, I don't use lifesteal on any champion right now, only in Faction War. I don't use Destroy. Could be good for Scarab, but I don't use him. It takes time to kill him. Toxic, I use Toxic in the beginning for clan boss. It's really good early game just to throw on your champions to do more damage in clan boss. But when you have a team of 5 champions with mastery, you have the damage for clan boss, you don't need a toxic set. Ice Golem, a good set of curse for Hydra could be good, and Reflex is good on some champions. The rest, no, they are not worth it. So don't focus too much to build a team that can do Spider. You need it for Arbiter, you need it to do the events, but you will not use a lot of that gear. Focus on starting doing Doom Tower, Hydra, events, Curse City, Siege. If we're looking at Siege, for example, if you are in a clan that managed to get 1,000 points, get 3 6-star legendary pieces. And you can get these quite early. I don't really know when you unlock Siege, but it's not that far into the game. And you start to get good gear in good sets quite early in the game. So you don't really... I don't feel that I farm dungeons for gear. Especially not lifesteal. There was a good tip before, like get yourself some good lifesteal gear and you will do good in clan boss. You don't need that right now. The champion is strong enough, and either way. Third. We are on the third one. I would say Arbiter should be built for arena only. I would say, do you really need her to be a pure speed lead these days? You will lose to players that are stronger than you, which are a lot of players in the beginning, because you haven't farmed a good enough speed gear. In gold 2, 3, 4, 5, there is arbiters that are way over 300 speed. At the early game, that's quite hard. You don't have that speed. So maybe think on using her in a more support role. I will do a guide on her and see how you can use her not just as your speed lead. She still needs to be fast, but she needs just be fast? Can you build her more useful? If you are inclined to hunt for Arbiter, I would say. The earlier you can get Arbiter, the stronger she is for your account in other places than just the arena. But if you have a stronger champion, then use her in arena, absolutely. That's more of a good tip if you are playing like a void only challenge that I am doing, because right now Arbiter is one of my best champions in the support role, so that's why I'm using her. If I would have different support champions, I would say that they are better support champions than Arbiter. And another one, it was true before, but I would say it's even more important right now. Pick the events that you want to do and go all in a couple. To just do all events a little bit, that's not that valuable for you. You want the top rewards. If we are looking here, the Gear Ascension Tournament. If you can, use gems to get to 5,100 points to get the soul. You need to start to collect these because you want souls for your champions. You can maybe not can do everyone. There is always an event that is good. But if your account can do, pick one event. This one, I will complete this one. Use your gems, use your refills, and complete that one. Then skip the next one and complete one more. And if you can find an event group that is quite weak, like this one, there is quite high points, but it's not unreachable high points. If I would have been a little bit higher up and actually want to try, see if you can snipe the first or the second position to get the what's the name of the artifact set? Relentless Gear. Really strong set, and in the earlier you get them, the easier it is to get them. When you start to get to a higher level, then you start to face a lot more spender in your groups, and winning or taking like top 3 place start to become really, really hard. The same is in Spider. You can have a look when there is a fusion. Sometimes you get in a group where everybody is doing the bare minimum, like everybody stops the fragments because they need to save the resources to do all the events. And then if you are not doing the fusion, then you can spend a little bit more gems and take the number 1 position. This one starts to become quite expensive because there are a lot of people farming spider for silver. So that was not a good example. I would skip the spider. I would not try to rank high in that tournament. But this tournament, I'm a little bit on. Yeah, it should be doable. There is a lot of player really close, and yeah, maybe it's possible. But I did not plan on going for the Prisma shard because there was not any void champions in it, and I don't really feel that it's worth the energy. So I would probably just go for the immortal, and then I can save some gems and go for shredder and take another immortal soulstone to start to build up a stockpile so I can do an event later on. That was still true before, but there are more events now, and it's always something going on. So space out the events you focus on and do them to the max reward. If you are doing a champion training, if you don't have the resources or the time to farm everyone, then save up and do one with a legendary book and do it really, really hard. And maybe if you are lucky, you get a weak group and you can get the first place and get 2 legendary books. Save your resources so you can do one event and finish that event, because the top rewards are always the most valuable and the other can be quite trash. What more do we have? There was quite a lot of I don't know see that much anymore, but when I started playing, there was a lot of talk to build your miniature farmer, and right now there are so many champions that can do that. You get good enough gear really early and quite easily to find a champion that can solo or do minotaur. So that's nothing you really need to think that much about. You don't need to focus on, oh, this would be my minotaur farmer. Probably a lot of your Nuka can do that. And that's something that I would change. Mostly your starter champion. Find some good starter code so you get a really strong start. Now when you can start with 3 legendaries and 3 epics, that's the best you can do right now, I think. Then Kale is not that strong of a champion anymore. So take them up to 50, help you with campaign in the early game, and then let them go. Or save them. If you have booked them, you may save them and build them later if you need them for a secret room or something like that. But don't take them up to 60 as your first one and don't spend the mastery on them. And don't stress the dungeons too much. Try to get gear from other places. Farm them for event. That's mostly what you do. And pick your event. At the early game, you can't do every event. You don't have the resources. So pick those that will push your account further. Like, do you have a full team of 6 stars? No? Okay. Skip everything else. Take the next champion training tournament or champion. What's the name of the event? Training event. And build level champion. You don't care about the other stuff. There is always a lot of events and always good champions going. It's a fusion. It's a hero's path. It's a lot of talking. Just don't let it be. There will be new champions. There will be new events, and they will be the best champion that have ever been in an event until the next event. There is always a new good champion. So build your account, build the base, save your resources for the event that you think is a really good one, and do that. Don't try to do everything. Try to do a few things really good instead. I will go and start farming some sand devil so I don't have too much energy floating, or use my key in iron twins. We'll start with iron twins. That's all for today. I'm trying to get out the videos a little bit faster right now. I'm hopefully back to a schedule where I can get the time. And so the next video will be a different take on Arbiter, where I can use her as a support. And if you don't want to miss that, hit the subscribe button and like the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.